Hey guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. And today, I'm just going to be upfront with you. This is just fun. This comic book is just about fun. There's nothing here that really rips you out of the suspense of disbelief. It all fits. It flows. It's not John Buscema and Roy Thomas. This is Don Krar and Mike Doherty. I think that's how you say that name. Even being Irish myself, I suppose that's an embarrassment to get that wrong. But Don Krar, Mike Doherty. I think this is Mike Doherty on the cover. This is Mike Doherty on the splash page. Conan has a fleet. He is attacking Argos. I've gotten the names of the countries wrong. I've gotten the names of the people involved wrong in the last few episodes of this, on the last few issues. These are published every other month, and they're twice as long as a regular comic, and it's worth every second. I love every bit of the art. It is intense. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of dialogue. I'm going to do my best to remember all of it for you guys. The colors are great. I really love everything about this. Ken Fedunowitz, there is an N, is on the colors. And look, this is an old comic, so some of it's maybe not as bright as it was on the week that it was published. But I can't complain about anything about this. We get these massive pages all the time throughout this book. I think, I really want to read Gene Colan's Tomb of Dracula, because I think a lot of the complaints I have about comics, some of the bad storylines, from what I understand, Todd said that if you read that back to front, it gets repetitive quick. But it was Todd McFarlane's favorite comic, and I think there may be some stuff to catch, some stuff to learn in there. There's a lot here. It's hard to absorb. This is magic being done. Conan has a huge fleet, like a fleet of 1,000 ships. He's got Zingarians, Akolonians, and the Aesir, and a couple other groups. The big coalition fleet, like 1,000 ships, thousands upon thousands of soldiers. Crassus is an evil wizard who is turning into a snake. He has summoned up this typhoon, just bad weather, as a magician. This is Trocero. This is Prince Khan. Trocero and Pallantides are both amongst the ships. This guy, one of the guys, is yelling that they need to sacrifice someone. And that gets repeated. I love the Robe Attack helmets. I am stealing these for a logo character for Alpha Channel, a version of these, and it's going to be fun. Crassus appears as a water snake, and washes a bunch of Conan's men overboard. Conan manages to grab Rufio as the ship dips down near a wave. Hold on and I'll pull you out, and he does, but other men are lost. Look at how good this art is. I know I'm gushing, and I was trying to think of what it is I want to say that this is so good. This is Saturday morning cartoons. Yesterday I described the comics that I'm drawing as cartoons, and I'm cartooning characters, which is a better way of saying it. But I'm not doing tweens, and I'm not trying to animate it. I love everything about it. Look at this giant monster snake. I love the square jaw that it has that makes it more of a dragon than a serpent. I love the horns that it has. It has these big bat wings. Of course, the guys are all terrified. What are we going to do to stop this? All they have to do is make it until morning. Here they are talking more about sacrificing men, and they want to sacrifice the jester since he can't swing a sword. Conan says he'll sacrifice all of them. He's not having it. Conan's not into slavery. Conan's not into magic. Then they find this guy hiding out in the bowels of the ship, and they bring him up, and we could sacrifice him. He is the good wizard, and he has the heart of Ahriman. And he says the heart of Ahriman is what has protected all of them thus far, and that saved them from having more ships lost. There's been more than one storm that wrecked a fleet attacking another capital city. It happened so many times throughout ancient history. Xerxes' fleet, after he faced the 300 that sailed through the, I don't know, whatever straits, and got to attack the the west-facing shores of Greece from the west. His ships were lost in a giant sea battle, and a bunch of ships. I think Caesar lost a bunch of ships between Egypt and Rome, probably more than once. There was tons of pirates out there. Reading about Roman history is, don't cheat yourself of that. This is bad paper, not someone spilled coffee on the page. But look at this. This is just, and so in just a few pages, look at what Conan has had to face off, right? It's only been a few pages in. Now we just finished Secret, 3 through 7. I did 1 and 2 earlier and then got pissed and put it to pause. We start off with a fleet of ships attacking another city, and there's a giant storm summoned up by a wizard. Prince Khan is deterred. Now, this wizard also is involved in the death of Prince Taurus. Prince Khan's sister Ratigan and Conan's wife Zenobia are both pregnant. Derek, I think that might be Derek right there leading the Azir. He's here somewhere. I don't remember reading his name. Now we have a giant sea serpent. A wizard summons sea serpent, washing men into the ocean. Conan's only able to rescue one of them. This is 3 pages in. 3 pages in, right? No Saturday morning cartoon was ever... Think about how much animation this would be for any animation studio. 4th page. The giant bat-winged serpent is threatening the whole ship. They are threatening to sacrifice members of the crew to put the monster off, right? Conan says he's not having it. He'll sacrifice all of them, and that's how they'll get the sacrifice. This old guy comes out with a magic jewel. This is like the 5 minutes into the cartoon. This is fucking awesome. Look at how much you get in just a few pages. Now the sun is rising. They're safe. They're going to make it. The demon can't last through the sunlight. This Conan hates magic, but he's willing to... Now, this guy knows that if he had not snuck aboard, Conan would have refused him entry onto the ship. Cut to the... Now, Crassus is no longer on a boat. In the last episode, he was, I believe... he had met these guys. I think he was off the ship by then. Now he is in some underground lair at the Argosian capital city. This guy is Xanatos, and this is his wife Lenora. They run the city. They are the king and queen. They are not wizards like I thought they were in the last episode. They're just royals who are using the wizard to help fight Conan. They have other people coming to rescue them as well, other forces. But now Crassus is getting in their face because his transformation from the serpent blood flowing through his veins is almost complete, so he is threatening them. They haven't seen him yet. And they're seeing him now, and they're terrified. And he says, don't get close to me, lest are those fangs real? Do they have venom? Oh my God, what have you done to yourself? He's like, I'm going to kill Conan and Prince Khan. So you just do what you do, and let me do what I do. Cut to, I love that the cuts are on pages, not in the middle of a page. This is 2 pages of these two. I don't mind that you have to turn the page, because look at what you're turning the page on. Like the bottom thing is they're seeing his face. So we have to turn the page. We have to see his face, and we still don't get to really see it, right? We still don't get to really see it. This is the stuff that fueled the satanic panic of the 80s. This is it right here. This demon, the serpent wizard demon who killed Conan's son, took part in the death of Conan's son. They spot what they think is a seagull, but it turns out to be a hawk, a bird of prey, and it's been sent out to lead them to shore. Every page. God, that Image comic was so boring. I'm going to read the Jim Zub Conan stuff. I put in some orders for a couple new runs this past weekend, so we're going to have some new Blood comics coming in soon. This is so good. Look at this panel. How do you not just run over there and skip all this? So, okay, they've found land, and the bird is being guided by Zatanna, who they recognize, who helped Prince Taurus back when she was dressed as a hot, like, 80s sort of goth girl. And now she's old lady. This is her true form. And she welcomes Conan onto the shore, his hundreds of ships and thousands of warriors. This is just this. Everything about this is epic in scale and scope. This is epic. It's not every day you got to read this, because it's not every comic that is this. Remember, she rescued Prince Taurus. She's telling Conan, you got to get your guys to shore and lay siege to the city as soon as you can. They're distracted. They don't know you're here yet, but it won't take them long to catch on. That's Derek. That's Prince Khan. That's Tricero and Palantides. And they are Conan's, basically his executive officer and his sergeant at arms. And this just looks like Athens. Of course, that's not Athens. I love this gate that you get down here set in the sand. This would be a great level to play in a video game. This would be a great story for a level in a video game. That's what I want my studio to do. I want to license old Conan comics and turn them into levels for video games. I want to license old covers and turn them into playable covers where you pull back and you see an enemy on the shore, and how does Conan beat them with no shield and just a sword, you know? I have so many ideas and so little money to execute it all. But it's a good place to be. I'm a very happy person. My heart is filled with music. So I'm never bored. I am never, ever bored. And that's why, you know, taking the time, like, look, I could obsess about my stuff, but I've found that when I do that, I have a tendency to burn myself out, and it can take years to recover. I did a chapter last, we'll talk about that later. Larry, now let's do comics. This is just the greatest. So this is a new wizard. These guys have gotten the news that they have a warlord and a wizard come to visit them. And the wizard has offered them some, you know, options that really he's telling them, we need to escape. I can help you, but you have to escape now to cross to the other side of the river. I have people there who can blah, blah, blah. You never should have dealt with Crassus. He was always going to betray you. You couldn't be trusted. He's sort of a good wizard for a nearby country. I believe he's Corinthian. There's a few countries involved in this. This is Brax, and Brax al-Thrall, and he is a warlord, and he wants Lenora. He says this guy's bitch made, and that he will only, Ophir is the other kingdom. It's Argos, Corinthia, and Ophir teamed up against Aquilonia, the Aesir, and the Zingarians. And there's one more team with Aquilonia. I don't remember who it is. Team. One more nation state, one more city state, one more army. Regardless, these two are getting punked out in their court by this sort of Conan-esque character. It's Conan, you know? I mean, it really is, right? It's a different hairstyle and a beard. And he has his own mercenary army, he has another, isn't that terrible to hear as I rip the page across this bottom? Anyhow, this guy's pissed. He's like, I'll kill you right here. He's like, you won't do shit. It's back and forth. And then this guy runs in. Conan and his armies are here. Thousands upon thousands of soldiers. They're already on the shore. They're marching on the city even now. And this guy, Brax, is like, guess you're on your own. So this guy, he runs up to the battlements. Here we see Conan for one big panel. Runs up to the battlements to overlook it. This guy runs back. Another messenger says, Brax and that wizard want safe passage from the city. They demand that you send a group of mercenaries. This king who just got humiliated by Brax and his just basically got cucked. He's like, I ain't sending him nobody. Fuck that guy. This is hilarious. I know I'm summing up, but it's still awesome. She tells him she's going to be loyal to him, but she's not. This is just, oh my God. We're only like, what, 10, 12 minutes in? If a page is a minute, Conan is knocking down the doors of this city. Just if this is why, look at how hard this would be to do as a cartoon. This is why those old Marvel cartoons were just Iron Man and Thor and Doctor Doom spreading their arms and tipping back their head and screaming and jumping across the page. Oh my God, there's so much. I mean, there is ways to do this. There is ways to do this with, you could, but imagine animating every panel. Just imagine it. Someday, maybe with AI we could do this. Oh, that would be sick. License the comic books from Marvel, get an AI app, and make all of these cartoons. I hope someone watching this does this just so I can watch them. Look at this guy. Look at how awesome he'd be as a bad guy. All the work is done for you. If Marvel has an ounce of brains in their head, we will get to see this as cartoons next week. I suppose I could license it. I know it can be done. I know it can be done right now. Animate every panel of this comic. So they are crossing back through the labyrinth, and they're like, we got to go. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm waiting for Prince Khan. He's like, well, we're not waiting for you, waiting with you. We're bailing. So they get out. Conan is in the city, but another fleet has arrived at the same time. Prince Khan can smell Crassus. Prince Khan is pissed over the death of Taurus, his brother. He wants revenge. He's going after him. He's almost ensorcelled, or he's suffering the effects of a spell, and he absolutely is. Conan cannot go with him. He has to go back and oversee important elements of the battle, and Prince Khan charges ahead. I bet you I was wondering if we would see any canted panels, and there is 2 or 3, but only when the magic happens. And this is Mike Doherty, not John Buscema. I'll have to go back and look at John Buscema's work. I'm sure I'll get more of it in the next Conan lot I get. Look at that face. I was looking at some of the Mark Silvestri Conan, or King Conan, or Conan the King books. They have like 30 inkers for one Mark Silvestri book. I can't wait to get those. That's going to be great. I don't know if I'm just in a good mood or if this is an especially awesome comic, but I think it's a little bit of both. This is an especially awesome comic, and I did a great chapter last night. Even though it was bad, it was a necessary, bad, good chapter. Only 800 words, but... So, Conan says, I can't go after him. I have to, defend blah, blah, blah. Rufio, who's been rescued by Conan earlier in this book, says, I'll go after the prince. He goes chasing after the prince. The prince gets led into the labyrinth. Rufio almost makes it, jumps off his horse just as Prince Khan is going into the labyrinth that opens off of the auditorium, it looks like a, bread and circuses. The gladiatorial auditorium. It might also be just catacombs or a crypt. I think it's some kind of throne room, though, because Khan I love Khan's Rambo headband. That's fucking awesome. And because one way to tell him from Conan, he immediately is facing this giant serpent. This is just, every bit of this is perfect. It's absolutely note perfect. I suppose we could have had a different soldier than the jester, but whatever. I mean, I like that he does throwing knives. I haven't seen anyone throw a sword. In how many issues of Conan now? Of King Conan, or Conan the King, whatever you want to call it. I haven't seen anyone throw a sword. I think I like that because you can't throw swords. You really can't. Not unless the guy is, 2 steps away, 3 steps away. Anyhow, these guys want to escape, but they can't because there is a sea battle going on, attacking Conan's ships. They have burned all the ships in the harbor as they try to escape. I believe they're on a ship now. And Conan is trying to get back to the harbor. Here we get a cut. So we have a few cuts here, right? Like this is Conan and Tricero, Xanthos and Lenora, Conan again, Xanthos and Lenora, and Rufio. So that's a braided storyline, ain't it? You know, we're getting the villain's point of view, Rufio's point of view. We're going to get Khan's point of view. We've had Crassus's point of view. Here's Khan facing down Crassus. Now we get a good look at, isn't that like the old witch Hagar from Voltron? Didn't she look just like that with the cat's eyes and the leprosy sort of serpent skin? And Khan is Sylvester Stallone, just without being obviously Sylvester Stallone. Lenora is finally showing her true colors and going to flee Xanthos or Zartos, however his name was. I don't remember if it was an N or whatever. Doesn't matter. It starts with an X. Anytime you start someone's name with an X, I'll never remember it. I'm sorry. It's a mental block. I don't know why. Rufio reaches the chamber where Khan is facing Crassus. Crassus pulls back his hood to reveal his full demonic nature and just strips out of his robes. He is now a gargoyle demon, almost like Etrigan from DC Comics or Killer Croc. He has a tail. Rufio, what are you doing here? I'm going to help you. Man, I don't even remember how they kill it. Wow. If that is not a Blake painting, the red dragon and the woman clothed with the sun. Dude, I can't even say anything. Do I need to? He can fly. Of course he can fly. He's coming down to attack Khan and grabs him. And Khan buries his sword in his heart. I wonder if he has Predator. I'm not Predator, but aliens, you know. Acid blood. What have you read in a comic book that's this good? Every page after page after page. How long has it been since you read something like this? Man, I can't even tell you. The last Conan comics weren't this good. This one's special. And he's taking off with Prince Khan. So Taurus is dead. Prince Khan has been kidnapped by a dragon. He's hulking out into a dragon. And The Punisher by Mike Baron. I'm just sitting here in stunned happiness. Look at the red eyes. Little baby skull. It's like a Baron Samadi's Zudu, what's that? Papa Legba skull. Voodoo skull. Klaus Jensen. Justice. Back when Marvel mattered. And it looks so easy. I can't wait to see the AI version of this as an animated. But look at that. Before Image broke Batman's back and killed Superman. That was the real event. Wolverine still had amnesia. Cyclops was still a good guy. Conan was a king. Hey guys, so we were just looking at Conan the King 42, published every other month back in the early 80s. And this is, I think, probably one of the best comics I have read in a long time. Front to back, not having read the last look. You only got them once a month. So the best when this came out is if you had it a month ago, you could read it again and then read the new one. So if you did that, but if you didn't, if you just grabbed it right off the shelf and read it, this is a perfect comic book. It's fantastic. It has a lot. This is twice as good. Now this is a double-sized comic, but they really packed a lot into it. They really did. This is why I'm out here doing this channel. What did I learn from this? I learned that sometimes, stop and smell the roses. This is the equivalent of touching grass for me. And getting outside is good too. Like I said, I did my chapter last night. Today's episode is brought to you by Legacy of the Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox, two amazing science fiction fantasy stories in which Dr. Andrew Fox invents a metal amplifier through which he can access all the internet, basically, all computer systems right in his head without invasive port. He can just have it broadcast right to his mind. Ashley and her brother Jeff inherit that device when government agents decide that Dr. Fox shouldn't own it because Dr. Fox discovers he can make it explode. So, yeah, and if he can, essentially anyone can, and they decide he shouldn't be alive. In the second book, Legend of Ashley Fox, Ashley and her brother Jeff go to a orphanage, the Angel City Juvenile Detention Facility, Angel City Orphanage and Juvenile Detention Facility, District 13, where they have to team up with a bunch of teenage gangs, against the gang of serial killers who run the orphanage. And we have a comic book out here in the description for you as well. This is a cleaner version than the dog-eared one I've had out here. This is the only other nice one I have with a colored cover. And here's the inside. Here's the back. I'm super proud of this. So please feel free to check it out, ashleyfox.ninja or alphachannel.games. Today's conflicted card is Deck 3, the King of Diamonds. And it says the Speaker of the House, I think it's the Speaker of the House, is named Brad Connor for some reason. Maybe that's supposed to be you. But the world has just collapsed and you are in some sort of position of power, government power. What steps would you go about to rebuild civilization? I would start small. Cattle farms, cattle ranches and farms, and don't go seizing them. Find a way to convince those people that starting the new, you got to have a good pitch. You got to have the perfect pitch. It's got to all be about teamwork with none of the corruption of the past. And I don't know how you're going to do that. You're going to have people around you who are corrupt. There's going to be people everywhere who are corrupt. It's going to take a while to shake itself out. If our world falls apart right now, there's not enough team spirit at the local level in most municipalities to avoid a catastrophic collapse. In Western English-speaking countries, I think that's, we've got this Tower of Babel problem going on. And I don't think we're going to have it happen. I think most people want to go to work. Most people want to see their kids graduate from school. Most people don't want to have shootouts in the streets. There's a very small number of the population that are really dissatisfied and loud right now. And they're being encouraged. Instead of just, putting their nose down and finding some art that they love to do, it's all you need. All you need is love. And love is what you give, not what you take. All right, see you guys tomorrow.